Welcome back, guys, to Overture 1. You haven't seen us for a week, but it is with due time. We are back, and today we are going to be talking about a very important subject. And guess what that subject is?
Personal development.
Personal development. Reading books, audios in your phone. And before we get into that, I wanted to talk about the fee of the show. You know, we don't run ads. We don't do any of those type of things. We don't do like, if you use this deodorant, you will become a millionaire out here. No, we just want you to like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. If we did a good job, phenomenal, share it. If you resonated, share it. Great. And if we didn't do the best job, comment and tell us, and we can do a better job. Right. That's what personal development is. Like, we read these books in order to know, like, we need to get better. Yeah. There's something that we don't know and we need to get better on. But with that being said, guys, let's actually start this. Let's see why you need personal development in trading, and why is that such a subject not a lot of people talk about.
100%. And the biggest thing that comes to my mind is a saying that I've heard for years now, and it's like, your income is not going to exceed your level of growth. Mm-hmm. And the most famous example that you can think of is like people who win the lottery, and it's like, you could go Google it. It's like a staggering statistic of people who win the lottery eventually come back to the level that they were at, or in an even worse financial situation that they were in previous to winning the lottery. And the reason why that is because it was out of luck, and it wasn't through growing and becoming the person who is capable of running that show. Mm-hmm. And I've heard like a lot of our mentors talk who run like billion-dollar companies and have billion-dollar brands. And one of the things that I've always heard them say is like, dude, if I gave you my plate right now, you wouldn't know what to do with it. And it's true. It's like, you have to grow and you have to evolve into the person who can actually manage that level of income. And if you can't manage what you're at right now, you're probably not going to get to the next level.
No, of course. And it's just like, let's relate this to trading. So if you got $100 million account right now, like you're the big boys on Wall Street, and you have $1 billion accounts, you're a hedge fund, you're a bank, whatever the case might be, can you stomach a loss of like $10 million?
Right.
What is that? 10%, right?
Right.
Can you stomach a loss of even $1 million? I know for my personal journey from going to 5 figures to trading to 6 figures, it took me some growing to get there. And guess what? It's with experience. You can read all these books and everything, but the most important thing to do is, guess what? The disciplined trader, trading in the zone, market wizards, asking it is given. I could read all these books cover to cover, take notes on all of them, but guess what? They're not going to do. They're not going to give me the experience that I'm going to learn from actually being inside the markets. I'm like, I have to learn how to take that loss. I have to learn how to accept that risk. I have to gradually get there. You know how you grow to your position, how Jared was talking about, you grow to the position that you want to be at. Yeah. You have to grow through it. You don't just go from, $10,000 to $100,000. You have to grow through it, and you have to slowly get up there. But sometimes if you are able to really like tap into, what God gave you with these books, the mentors around you, you'll get there. Yeah. Honestly, like that's the way that I see it. And, my journey that I got there, as I grew through being a trader, reading all these books, listening to audios, going to events, it really got me better. Like, it's really hard to get me mad nowadays. And I know you're the same exact way. Like, we live in Miami here, and, people, drive like crap. Just say it like that. They drive like crap. And sometimes you have to drive like crap too, because like you have to get through it. And, it just is what it is. It's not good or bad. It just is. Let's just say it like that. And, it doesn't really get me mad. Like I drive around, when I drive around with people in my car, they're like, yo, like that guy cut you off. I'm like, it is what it is. We didn't crash. Like I remember when I got rear-ended in, on Palmetto. And literally the guy rear-ended me, and we were literally on dead stop traffic, and the guy just slipped his gas. And then boom, he hit me. I'm not lying to you guys. I literally got out and I laughed. And I was like, hey, bro, no problem. It happens. Let me get your insurance. What insurance you have? Oh, I have United. I'm like, what? I have United. That's my like life insurance thing. He's like, no, I have it for like my car. And I was like, oh man, this guy has like the insurance that like is like you're gonna have to call your insurance at the end of the day. But you know, I could have got mad, I could have got flipped out, but the thing is like, you know, with me being able to grow in the position that I was at, I'm just like, you know what, these things happen. I can move on. Like if I'm a trader and like I flip out on this side and then I'm gonna go start trading the next day, it's gonna affect me.
Yeah.
Remember, it just doesn't go away like that. That's why like you need to be calm in a neutral space in majority of the things that you do.
Yeah. Dude, I picked up the stack of books in front of me, the books that I read, and the first one that I think of is As Men Thinketh. And one of the things that it's one of the entire sections in our course is talking about self-control. And this book really pointed me in the right direction on how to get there. And it's like, dude, to parallel what you were saying, talking about experience versus personal development, I see it as there's 3 types of people, right? You could have only experience and no personal development, and those are the people that I call ignorance on fire, right? Mm-hmm. And then the other types of people are the people who could read every single one of these books, you know, Emotional Intelligence 2.0, right? Hung by the Tongue, Magic of Believing, right? Think and Grow Rich, New Psycho-Cybernetics, like all these different books, and you could read them, but then take no action throughout your whole life, right? And that is like knowledge on ice. So you got ignorance on fire, the people who are just like falling forward, failing, growing, learning, but they're not actually doing the development that they need to do. And then you also got the people who could just sit and read all day and they're not getting that experience like what you were talking about. And it's like, you need to be the perfect mix of both to go forward. The way that I see it is like personal development is like one of your legs, and then experience is like the other one of your legs. And in order for you to walk forward, you got to put personal development. Okay, boom. Now I can go take that experience, and now I can grow into somebody who can handle the next experience. And then now you're walking forward, and you know you're moving in a straight line.
No, I really resonate with that. It's just, you know, and you know, you're gonna see us talk about it, and you're gonna go and see other people. You're like, man, this person doesn't like have a big bookshelf and everything, but this person is successful. And I want to address that right now. I was like, you can look at their life, and everybody learns in a different way. You know, we call it unconscious competent. It's like they're knowing how to tie the shoe without doing it. They were not perfect, but the thing is, what did they do? They went out there and did it.
Right.
At the end of the day, you know, they could have, you know, read all these books, you know, Market Wizards and all these things like this, like mindset, you know, Stop Acting Rich, all of those things. But, you know, there's people that learn by experience. There's 2 ways of learning, by trial and error and experience. And they just went out there and did it. But in order to get to a higher level, you're going to have to educate yourself. You know, you're going to have to literally read books, audios, you know, like I'm saying, these things are going to be on your personal time. These aren't just for college or high school or any of those things. You know, we're taught to be like, hey, once you finish high school and college, that's it. I'll never pick up a book again. I'm ignorant to books. That's it.
You're taught to hate them.
Yeah. And we're not talking about books as in like, you know, stories where they tell where things never happened and they made just a bunch of fictitious lies and everything goes far.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about books that could actually help you in life. That kid, you know, books like the Bible, you know, books regarding like literally everything that we said. I have more books like right in here, you know, the 5 love languages. You're gonna look at me like, bro, the 5 love languages? Bro, I don't even have a girlfriend. And you're looking at me over here like, what's going on? Actually, I was talking with a friend and they're like, what's your 5 love languages? And I'm like, I don't know. I bought the book and then I researched it. And now I ask all my friends, it's like, what's your love languages? Because that doesn't correlate to just only your partner. That correlates to other people.
Right. It's how you receive.
Exactly. And trust me, those things that like you're over here looking as like, oh, how does this relate to trading, bro? I'm like, it relates everything to trading. The corny saying, you know, everybody hears how you do one thing is how you do everything. You're gonna hear that time and time again because it is so true.
Yeah.
Literally, like how I know how to help Jared out and Jared helps me out is gonna relate to how we interpret information and how we feel like we are heard.
Right, and how you receive mentorship too. It's like whatever your level is, just like, you know, like you might not learn through hearing things, but you might learn through experience something like what you were just talking about.
Exactly.
So it's one of the types of knowledge. It's called modeling knowledge, right? Like we said, like, you know, some people might not get value out of reading one of these books per se, but they might learn through like an in-person mentor or through a course or whatever, where they can model what somebody else is doing to get to where they want to go.
Exactly. And, you know, that's amazing. And with all of that being said, you know, we want to close out here today, and I want to appreciate you guys checking this out. You know, remember to like, comment, subscribe. We now have officially the the Overture 1 Trading Psychology Think to Trade Rich Blueprint out. So make sure to check that out in the link in the bio below. Trust me, you guys are not gonna regret this. We even have a free 45-minute webinar for you to actually know what we have in this course, what we're talking about, who we are, why did we get started, and why do we feel like we need and we want to do this. So with that being said, guys, have a phenomenal day.